Uh, it is September 2nd, 2022. I've got some free picks for you all guys today. My website is hot, is live, it is available for the $25 a month purchase price of my subscription. Guys, this is going to get you all of my plays in all sports. It's going to get you my information that I'm going to be posting on there. It's going to get you access to my Discord that is going to be attached to that as well. Guys, this stuff is going to be valuable. For $25 a month, if you're a sports bettor, just the information alone is going to be worth that. So it's for the price you're paying, it's very minimal for the information you're going to get. Plus, guys, football season started. That's what I'm best at. I'm best at football compared to handicapping all other sports. So even if you just buy for the football season, just stick around for the football season, $25 a month, you're looking at $125 for 5 months. I mean, for the sheer volume of information and the angles and the trends and the small nuances that I find in games, in situations, in statistics, it's worth it. Usually that's about what people bet at our level, my level, $25 a game, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but that's who I'm trying to appeal to, guys. I'm not trying to be, the guys that bet $1,000 per game, hey, more power to you. But for the guys like us, the guys like me, I'm not betting no $1,000 a game. All right, I'm not doing it. So this is for you guys. This is me trying to be helpful to you guys, and obviously I do want to be paid for my information, so that's my part of it. But again, check it out, wagermethis.com. You can go on there, purchase. It's available for purchase now. Go through the little process. You're going to get access to the Discord, and also through my Discord, guys, I'm going to be giving out free stuff to the purchasers of it, as far as like little like gift type stuff and contest type stuff. It's just giveaways. I'm also going to be doing it on YouTube as well, but that's going to be more based in the crap side of it. And for the sports betting side, you're going to have to be on that, because that's how I'm going to try to separate it a little bit. Again, yesterday, great day, right? Great day. If you were a purchaser, we went 2-1 in baseball, 2-0 college football. I gave out both college football picks for free on YouTube. So if you guys followed me there, we're 2-0. 2-0, easy 2-0, by the way. I say that. One of them was really easy. The Tennessee game was absolutely a simple pick, right? Tennessee only giving up 35 and a half, 36, whatever you wanted to give up there. You could have bumped it up to 38, like I said. If you did that, you got a little profit boost. So there you go. Tennessee blasted them 59-10. It could have been worse if they wanted. I mean, it just was a bad situation, bad matchup. Everything fell in Tennessee's favor. It's at home. They're the better team. They run 3 plays a minute. Just Ball State, and you saw it. The first play of the game for Ball State was an interception. I mean, the stage was too big. The moment was too big. They got hammered. They should have got hammered. It was an easy play. That spread should have been 42. And even then it would have covered, but it would have been in the range of not covering. 59-10. They could have easily scored in the 60s. They kicked a field goal one time when they didn't have to. I mean, there was a lot of things Tennessee, they kind of let up on them at the end. They could have kept driving. They could have kept killing them, but they didn't, which is good. They didn't have to. 59-10 is plenty good. And a covered spread for guys like us. The Penn State game, a little trickier, right? But if you break it down a little further, it wasn't as tricky, right? Purdue came with one weapon. The Charlie boy, the white receiver, they really came with one weapon, and he played his heart out. If Purdue doesn't get a pick 6 in that game's not even close. Really, it's probably double digits. Penn State was winning by double digits at the half. Kind of fluky touchdown at the half helped us out in the end. But Purdue couldn't put the game away at the end. They couldn't create first downs. And it just showed that Penn State was the overall better team, laying 3.5. 3 in some spots. I got it at 3. I told people to bet the money line just so you didn't have to avoid it. But I told my subscribers, my people that pay me, to lay the 3. And it won by 4. So that was just a very tight matched game, a very close matched game. But I thought that the losses of Purdue's losses from last season would show up, and they did. Now, did Purdue have a great game? Did the quarterback have a great game? He did. But he threw a couple interceptions that got dropped. There was one early in the game that the guy jumped around and he just dropped it. It was a pick six. But Penn State's not a great football team, but they're a good football team. And there'll be someone in the Big Ten that when they're catching points and stuff against the bigger schools, there'll be someone to look at. Purdue's going to be fun. Purdue's going to be a lot of overs. I think they're going to score a ton of points. They have that connection between the quarterback and that receiver and stuff. It's going to be neat. We're going to be looking at that receiver's receiving props a lot of times, his target props, stuff like that, because he's obviously the favorite guy and he's going to get a lot of attention. Purdue's going to be a good bet all year long, I think, for the overs and for some prop betting. So we'll be keeping that in mind. Got it written down. Got it in the box so I know what to look at every week. But so that's where we're at on that part. 2-0. It's hard to beat 2-0, right? I mean, if you don't lose, you don't lose. That's just how it is. So today I got some Major League Baseball for y'all. Interesting slate today. Got a couple spots where you can take some really good teams at plus money. So that's fun. Don't always win, but it's fun to get good teams at plus money. So, and then we got, I'm going to talk about something that I use in professional football that is lining up this next couple games for the New York Mets. All right, so let's start with a plus money game. All right, you got the New York Yankees getting plus 110. I know Tampa's played pretty well, and it's in Tampa, but you're getting the Yankees at plus 110. They're throwing German against Springs, so that's a pretty even matchup. It's the idea that it's plus 110. All right, this is a value play. You get the Yankees, you get the Mets, you get the Dodgers, you get Houston. Anytime you're going to get one of those teams at plus money, it's hard to not take them, right? Because you know you're getting a good baseball team. That's just the way it is. Now, the Yankees have been down with the bats a little bit, but plus 110, it's just hard to say no, right? So I am on the Yankees plus 110, just on the money line. And it's just that. It's the value that I'm getting a good team that could easily blow Tampa Bay out. You know, it could easily, or it could be a 3-4 game. I mean, or 2-1 game. What I'm saying is that the idea that you're getting Aaron Judge, I think Rizzo's out for today, but you're getting Stanton and those guys, and they're putting it together. It's taken a little time, but they added pieces, a solid pitcher versus a solid pitcher. And it's not like Tampa Bay's running away with the home run titles here. You know, they're not hitting a bunch of home runs or something either. So I just like the 110 here. I think the plus 110 makes it worth taking the Yankees. So that's one pick. It's a value pick. You know, when they're plus 110, you only have to win every other one. If you win every other game at plus 110, you're profitable. So, I mean, there's the value play there. But let's get into the thing I really want to talk about today as far as Major League Baseball goes. The New York Mets are hosting the Washington Nationals. Okay, so today the Nationals are throwing Gray. Gray's a solid pitcher, but he gives up a bazillion home runs. He's given up a whole ton of home runs. Against the Mets, that's not a huge deal because they're not a big home run team. They do hit a few, but they're not like a team that goes out and lives and dies on the home run. But in New York, Mets at home, come off a big series versus the Dodgers. They got some wins. I actually think they're going to hit the ball a little bit today and beat Gray up. All right, so problem here is the money line's like minus 260, minus 250, right? Okay, so look at it in this way, all right? Tomorrow's game against the Nationals is Scherzer versus Patrick Corbin, all right? You're probably going to have a 300 money line, all right? But if we take the money line today, which is, let's say, minus 260, play it, and we parlay all that bet plus the winnings onto the money line tomorrow, it kind of knocks them both down to about 180. All right. So it's a two-part play. It's a 2-day play where you're saying, okay, I'm going to bet it today at this ugly minus, but I'm going to use this profit and everything to just parlay into a good situation tomorrow when you have Scherzer versus Patrick Corbin. Guys, Patrick Corbin, we all know about Patrick Corbin. I've talked about him a lot on here. He's an auto fade, and then you're going against Scherzer, against a Mets team that's playing well right now. It's a great spot, and I call this a money line stack. I call them money line stacks, and I find them in pro football a lot. where a team will play 2 or 3 bad teams in a row, where you can just stack the money line because a really good team, so you're not going to get good money lines, but when you just parlaying the money, it's cumulative. It's a cumulative effect. So by the time the third game comes and you win, I actually put one out last year for the guys for the Denver Broncos. Their first 3 games, it was Giants, Jaguars, Giants, Jaguars, Jets, and they were 3 easy wins, and you got good money lines. It was a great money line stack. This Washington New York Mets is a good money line stack. Now the third game in the series is Carrasco versus Feed. That's not as good of a play, but if you did want to go on and finish the stack all 3 games, it would be an okay play. But maybe you take the profit out and you just finish the stack on the money line on the third game in this series. But so the key is getting through game 1, right? You get through game 1, now you're getting Scherzer versus Corbin. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, really. I mean, you got one of the best pitchers in baseball versus probably the worst starting pitcher in baseball, if not the second worst, against a team that's competing for a World Series versus a team that's competing for the number 1 draft pick. I mean, it doesn't get better than this as far as situational goes. It's in New York. And so I call this a money line stack. You're going to hear me say this in pro football quite a bit. Money line stack. And that's where I'm at here. So we like the Yankees plus 110, right? It's a value play. Anytime you're going to get the Yankees plus money, it's a good play, right? Second play, we're taking the New York Mets money line today. Whatever we win on that plus the bet for today, we're putting it right on tomorrow's game. And Ryan Scherzer on those Mets versus Patrick Corbin. Guys, I expect that game to get out of hand early, like most Patrick Corbin games do. Now, he did win last time he's pitched. He did win somehow. But he's like 4-18 or something like that on the season. He's terrible. So that's what I'm giving you guys today. It's a different angle. It's a different type of bet. It's a different way to look at things. You're looking at things in succession. You're looking at an overall profit over a series in baseball, which is a good thing to be doing and to be looking at, because not every game goes exactly right, but a series generally will, right? They refer to this as the cream will rise to the top, right? So in the playoffs in professional baseball, what happens a lot of times is the better team eventually wins the series. Now, sometimes they go down, 2-1, but the cream will rise to the top. Week in and week out series, and especially as we're getting close to playoffs, the Mets still have to win because Atlanta's right on their butt. Guys, they're going to take this chance to dominate Washington and get three easy wins out of Washington. And they're actually pitching some of their lesser aces. I think they're putting Scherzer in the middle, making sure they get that game. But, it's just the Mets have that great lineup as far as pitching goes. It's a good spot for this money line stack. And this is a tool you guys could use in your sports betting. You can look at these in succession, and you can find these money line stacks, and they're good, man. These are really good plays as far as when you see really lopsided talent where you're going to get bad money lines. And this is a way to kind of combat that value, that losing all that value, is you add these together. And it's one play. It's not 2 plays. And that's one of the things I think that gets messed up sometimes. When you win today, whatever you won and whatever you bet today, you just put it on the one tomorrow. And it's all one play. So it's kind of like a parlay, but you're getting a big advantage as far as like probability of win would go. So that's where I'm at today. So the 2 Major League Baseball picks for today I have are the New York Yankees plus 110 on the money line. And then we're going to do this money line stack with the New York Mets against the Washington Nationals. And guys, the big game is not today. It is tomorrow when you're playing Patrick Corbin. You can load up on this game. You can put money on the run line. You can put money on the money line. You can put money on Scherzer to win. You can put money on Corbin to lose. All of these are good plays, in my opinion. All right. So, but we're going to do the money line stack. That's where we're at. Let's get to some college football today, right? College football. What do we like today? There's some good games today. I think there's some surprising games today. For example, Virginia Tech is only laying 6.5 versus Old Dominion. Now there is some stuff that goes into that. Virginia Tech is in kind of a switchover mode, new coach, new quarterbacks, and all that stuff. But it's still Old Dominion. It's still Virginia Tech. It's still a talent discrepancy, um, size, speed. All of that will show there. Even if Old Dominion is a veteran team that is, you got to remember, Old Dominion is entering the Sun Belt. They're not entering a Power Five, so they're just getting out of 1AA into Sun Belt. Then so Virginia Tech is a iconic program. They've had great series success in their history. No matter who they're bringing in, no matter what, this is a pretty low spread. All right, the value's there to just lay these points, and Vautech's only got to win by a score, a touchdown. It's in the fourth quarter of this one. It's going to, I think, lean Vautech way, even if Old Dominion plays great. Just the size, the speed, the size on the offense and defensive line will be a telling thing. Also, Virginia Tech, their running back, he's projected to get about 90 yards. If Virginia Tech can run the football, if he can run the football, they're going Old Dominion will struggle. And I actually think this is a crazy low spread. Virginia Tech, and if you don't even like it, the money line, you can get the money line at a reasonable price. I think it was minus 300 or something like that, minus 280. But that's weird for a college football situation like this, right? Now, the one thing is, it is an Old Dominion, so sometimes you get them salty little teams come up and they get, but this is a spot where I think there's an overreaction from the handicappers in Vegas that are putting out these lines as to Virginia Tech's problems. I think they're overreacting to that, where Virginia Tech, they're expecting, because they got this transfer quarterback. This transfer quarterback, he's played a ton of football. He has like a 65% completion percentage. He's a good quarterback. He's transferring and he's good. The rest of their skill players aren't special, right? Like, you're not hearing about these great skill players, but it's still Virginia Tech. New coaching system, I get all that, but it's all new. So I think that maybe this game starts out slow, but as the game progresses, Virginia Tech leans on them, and Old Dominion, they just kind of run out of steam because they're the smaller, slower, littler school. They have less talent pool to pull from. And I just think it eventually goes Virginia Tech's way. I actually think Virginia Tech wins this one by double digits. I don't think it'll be close at the end, maybe 17, something like that. The truth is, the big teams beat the little teams in college football. There's the few anomalies everyone remembers every year, but the huge majority of the time, the big teams beat the little teams. And it has to do with talent pool. It has to do with just overall skill level, recruiting. It's all just better at Virginia Tech than at Old Dominion. It's just how it works. So you're getting just a base talent advantage just out the door. So unless Old Dominion comes out and just plays a great game, they're probably not going to win the game. Now, so I like Virginia Tech -6. I got them at -6. I think it's bouncing between -6 and -6.5 here and there. But another thing is, I know a lot of people will say don't tease college football, but this is a really good teaser spot on Virginia Tech. You tease them down to just win. I mean, it's a good teaser spot. So if you have another spot to tease with, it's a good spot to tease them. So whatever people want to say about that, I think that really only matters and only applies when you're talking about 30 and 40 point spreads. When it's talking about 6 points, it still falls in a long range, right? It's a very standard teaser. Why wouldn't you do it? If you're interested in teasing, it's a good spot to tease, in my opinion. But that is my play for today for college football. Virginia Tech -6, -6.5. Either one's fine. I think they win easily at the end of the game. The beginning of the game might start like a struggle. It might be ugly, but by the end, I don't think it'll be close. I think it'll easily be double digits. Um, I don't think Virginia Tech's going to be a good football team this season overall. I think when they get into conference play, they're going to struggle with the teams in their conference, obviously, that are more established, that are more veteran. But against Old Dominion, even if it's all seniors, it's still a talent gap. It's still a size and speed gap. Thank you, Mr. Brian. Yeah, that Tennessee game was an easy one. Everything fit Tennessee. Everything did. It took me forever to find a point total on a team total for Tennessee, but I don't think they offered it a lot of places because they were going to score so much. So, but anyways, I did eventually get it at 48.5. So hopefully you guys got on the team total too, but it was just hard to find it. I don't think a lot of books offered it. But the minus 35, minus 36, even if you went to 38, it was a pretty easy cover in Tennessee. That was a pretty easy. Guys, Tennessee's going to be tough. Tennessee's going to be they're going to be tough because they're going to put pressure on every team they play because they're just going to keep scoring. And in the SEC, that's actually an anomaly, right? That's not really how SEC teams tend to play. They kind of play a more controlled style of football. So Tennessee's kind of the hybrid anomaly there. So they could make some noise. They really could. Tennessee could be tricky. I'll be looking at a lot of Tennessee's overs this year, especially when you get into SEC play and they knock those numbers down a little. I still don't think it changes Tennessee's side of it. So definitely be looking towards some overs for Tennessee. They're going to be high, but man, when you're running 3 plays every minute and you're throwing the ball like they are, they're going to be fun to watch, right? So the one thing, what I mean by throwing the ball, guys, if you throw the ball a lot, the game lasts longer because incomplete passes stop the clock. Teams that run the ball a lot obviously knock the game time down. So when you're throwing the ball in college and the first down, the clock stops till it's set. So it's just a good spot to. They're going to have a lot of overs. Pace of play indicates they're going to have a lot of overs. Throwing the ball a lot indicates they're going to have a lot of overs. Plus, they score. So it's not like they're throwing it and not scoring. They are scoring. And they did last year, so there's some really good history on it as well. And it's the same quarterback, same coach, same system. They should be pretty good. They should be very fun to watch. Will they cover a lot of spreads when they're favorites? I don't know. I don't know about that, but I do think they'll cover a lot of overs. They'll hit a lot of overs. But that's just a good one. Tennessee was an easy one yesterday, real easy. Penn State got there, got to get there. Penn State, good job. It wasn't the prettiest get there, but I do think if you rewatch the game, if you look at what actually happened in the game, Penn State was the better team, and it was very visible that they were the better team. You take away the pick six, it's really not even close. But I mean, what I'm saying is that they were the better squad. Doesn't mean Purdue ain't good. Purdue's solid. They're going to be fun to watch as well. But that's why I stick to a lot of the Big Ten and a lot of the SEC stuff. I very rarely deviate outside of it because they're more similar to pro football, which is what I hang my hat on. And in pro football, the variance is very small, similar to the SEC, similar to Big Ten. The variance when they're playing conference games, Titans way up. That's why in 2 Big Ten game matchups this year, Northwestern Nebraska, we saw a good game. Penn State, Purdue, we saw a good game. They just play tight. They are very closely matched. They're a very evenly matched group. It's just like if you were teasing on the Purdue side, it was a good play. The tease on the Purdue was a great play. And I know some people did that. Not everyone is opposed to teasing college football. I know it's kind of what people say, don't do it, but not everyone is opposed to it. To me, the teaser only matters, in my opinion, if the numbers make sense. I don't care what league it's in. If the numbers make sense to tease, it's a tease. So, again, that was a good teaser spot. I know it was 3.5 and sometimes 4, but in college football, the key numbers are a little different. Obviously 7, but But there's a lot of games in college football that end on 4 and 6 and 9 and stuff. Just because there's less field goals. I know it sounds like 9, you'd think there'd be more field goals, but not really. The field goal isn't as common. So in pro, they get to the 45, it's time to kick a field goal. So. But anyway, that's one of the things. Just to recap, we like the New York Yankees plus 110 today on the money line. We like the New York Mets today on the money line and tomorrow on the money line. Just parlay your money straight over there. Today you're getting Peterson versus Gray. A little tougher matchup. Mets still should handle it. But tomorrow's the one. You get Scherzer versus Corbin. So you take the money from today, pile it right on tomorrow, get your win. And then in college football, we have Virginia Tech -6, -6.5, whatever you're getting it at. If you got something to tease it with, I think it's a good play too. I'm not messing with that total in that game. There is a total I gave out to my purchasers in college football today. I'm not going to give it out on here, but I did give out a good total. I think there's a pretty good over bet today. So if you just check into that, you can probably figure it out. But yeah, no, pro football on its way. It's coming next Thursday. College football is going to stretch all the way through Monday. So we're going to have a lot of free picks coming out. If you haven't checked out my website and you haven't checked out the purchase, $25, guys, $25 for all my information. Not a big deal. You're going to get all my breakdowns. You're going to get all my workups. You're going to get access to my Discord, private Discord, where all these sports betting guys are coming in there and, talking to me, talking to stuff. I'm going to have live betting stuff on the Discord where I'm telling you what I'm doing live. All that stuff is going to be involved in that, as well as there will be giveaways through that. And $25 a month, guys, every sport I do, all the picks I put out, all the information I put out, right there, access anytime, go check it out. WagerMeThis.com. Nothing. Cheap. But anyways, guys, let's win some more games today. College football started out really well so far. I expect it to go pretty well. I mean, why wouldn't it? It's football. Football's pretty consistent. So anyways, thank you guys for your time. You guys have a great day.